The United States remains the worst affected country from COVID-19. The death toll has now crossed an alarming 229,000. But these deaths are not mere statistics, and that is what has inspired one artist to create a powerful memorial which captures the enormous scale of loss of life due to this pandemic. Here's a report.
From a distance, it appears to be a sprawling field covered in snow. Look closer and you will find a field covered with little white flags. Each flag is dedicated to one of the more than 220,000 Americans who have died of COVID-19. The memorial captures the enormity of loss inflicted by the pandemic. One could even say that its telling title, "In America, How Could This Happen?" questions the complacency and ignorance that has crippled the world's biggest economy.
When I read in the newspaper in mid-August that 170,000 deaths was considered just a statistic, something inside me just flipped. I couldn't let that happen, and that's when I knew that I would be using my art to help people experience 175,000, because it's a number so large people can't really conceptualize it.
Coronavirus cases are surging unabated across the United States. More than 84,000 people were diagnosed with COVID-19 on October 23rd. This is a record one-day increase in infections during the pandemic. As the victims' families plant a flag for their loved ones, this memorial now serves as a stark reminder of the scale of loss.
So Judy is my sister. There's 7 of us, and she's the third oldest. She passed away on June the 5th. And so I was honored to be a part of this opportunity to share with the world our love for her, but also a call to action. It's overwhelming. I mean, you hear numbers, but to actually see a representation with a sea of flags, it's mind-boggling that we are still having spikes and that it's still just as difficult now as it was as we heard about it earlier in the year.
The artist has created the installation as a tribute to Americans who have lost their lives in the pandemic, and also as a call to action. She also set up 2 other groups of flags which send out another powerful message. One group had 25 flags, which represents the number of COVID-19 related deaths in New Zealand. The second group has around 1,675 flags. This denotes the people who would have died in the US had the country followed the same death rate pattern as New Zealand. The powerful contrast stands as a wake-up call for the Trump administration. In an election year, the US president has been heavily criticized for his handling of the coronavirus crisis. It remains to be seen if America chooses to stick with Donald Trump as the country goes to polls on November 3rd. Bureau Report, WION World is One.
Co-presented by Skoda. Simply clever.